Hey, Sam here. Welcome to our 100th episode. Yeah, it's still the 100th episode. And it doesn't end today either. It's gonna be back when you least expect it. Or at least, some point in the future. Thank you so much for listening to all of this, to indulging us in this homebrewed adventure that I've been thinking about since before we started the show. Like, honestly, there's been a tab in my notes labeled "In Drop-In Side Story" since before we even had a cast. Though for at least a year, the only text in that tab was just the simple question, what the hell is this? Well, what you're listening to now is the result of that. I hope it's interesting. I hope it's a good listen. I hope we've done a good job fleshing out the world of Pot Against the Machine and giving you a little bit of background information on some of the ruins that litter the Numerian countryside, and maybe teasing some things to come in the future. Who's to say? There's probably no way to know, but at least we finally know what the hell this is. Now we're here. 100 episodes of the main pod down, plus a McFib adventure and a half, over a dozen machine learnings, half a dozen Brian identities, which incidentally have raised hundreds of dollars for some really great charities, 3 story machines, well over 100,000 downloads, and 2 whole years of episode releases. Thank all of you for coming on this wild ride with us. Thank you to MC Lars, the rapper behind Space Game, for graciously allowing a rando who emailed you out of nowhere to use your song for our milestone podcast episode. Everyone out there, I encourage you to check MC Lars out. He is a delight. You can find him on patreon.com/MCLars. I want to thank, again, all of our Brian guests, and thank you to everyone who's joined our Discord, or our Patreon, or our Ko-Fi, or followed us, or talked to us, or shared stuff about us on any of the 8,000 social media platforms that we do a terrible job of keeping up with, or posted a review of our show out there in the ether on whatever site you've done it on, or told a friend about us, or what have you. Thanks for sticking with us while I sounded like I was recording with a bucket on my head. Thanks for listening to all of us learn how to podcast, learn how to play games, learn how to make something positive when there's a whole lot of negative out there in the world. I am overwhelmed every time I stop to think about it. Of course, a huge thanks to Jero, Izzy, Jeff, and Zach for taking this absurd journey with me, for being amazing players, for being so much better at recording yourselves than I am, for tolerating me brain dumping 800 different things into the Discord at 5 a.m. Just for everything. We're rounding the corner into our 3rd year. We're neck deep in our 3rd book, and you're about to listen to the 3rd part of our 100th episode. For a little while, on this cold Wednesday morning, or whenever you're listening to this, things are pretty great. Thanks for coming, and welcome back to Pot Against the Machine.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Virginia Woolf can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Joseph Conrad can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. I excite the modern mind like a ray of light. Franz Kafka can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Wallace Stevens can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. E. Cummings can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. I've got postmodern game and it feels alright.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine in Space, the Sponely Spectral Splice podcast. Spurter, Spiss, Spun, Specific, Spoke, Spose, Brutally, Spoospan, Spunder, Stand, Spiss, Spentence.
That one's going to take a second.
Spello spam. Spy spam.
I wanted to recreate the moment, but I don't want to spit all over my mic.
Yeah, I died a little doing that.
AKA, welcome to Pot Against the Machine, the only actual play podcast to completely disinterest all of its listeners within 4 seconds of the opening banter.
All you got to do is run that one in-joke into the ground, and people really appreciate
It's
it.
broken me so bad I heard Izzy say spit and was trying to figure out what the actual word was.
Like, wait, what is space short for?
Well, I'm your host, and here's everybody.
We already spell out you spam.
Well, previously on Pod Against the Machine, the crew of the Dabble did a quick check of the vicinity to see if there were any signs of other ships hiding in the area, but found none. After a brief discussion of where to go next, they decided to travel to the crew quarters, since the crew was supposed to be their number one priority. After harking some sounds on the southern side of the room, the crew did indeed find some members of the crew. But those members were shambling, on account of being zombies. Our first ever Starfinder combat followed, and we all did very well, and we knew all of the rules, and everything was correct. And it went very fast, too. And zombies smashed down a wall and ruined a space toilet, or a spoilet, if you're being brief. But the crew emerged victorious anyways. And that's where we are, standing in a totally ruined crew cabin with 9 dead bodies.
And fragmentation grenade bits just everywhere. I mean, the Spombies didn't do this room any favor, and we exploded it thoroughly just to make sure.
It's true.
It's almost like you ask the mechanic, can you just total it? Can you just say it's totaled so they don't try and fix it?
So, are there, like, identification? Like, is there, like, one of those cool, Alien, the movie style military name tags that say their name or surname on any of these Spombies?
One presumes they all have their official Androphin crew jumpsuits on, and all the requisite identification that denotes them as members of the crew who have real names that I definitely have prepared, but I would rather not share right now.
It must be hard for you, emotionally.
Yeah.
So he, like, looks down and just, I guess, maybe, and by he, I mean Lysander Norwich Barstow. I remember the entirety of my name without looking at it on Roll20. Looks down and says, "Oh, weep for," examines the crew's gear, "Spanthony, for he is dead. Peace, not dead, not sleep. He hath awakened in a dream of space." Light bow. So, are we obligated to take them back too?
I think that would be a serious breach of, hazardous space zombie protocol. Sir. We probably don't want those back on our ship.
Should we bury them or something? Space bury. Which means, I think, shoot them out the airlock.
No, I like the idea of cracking out some spades and going at the floor.
Just peeling up the panels. There we go. Get right in there, buddy.
Stuffing them in the vent. We're like, yes, this is a space burial.
Is this not how you do it here?
Goodbye, Spanthony, sweet sprints. So, does this room go anywhere beyond the broken wall, or is that kind of the extent for crew quarters that we see beyond more of the same cots and whatnot?
Beyond the broken wall, which did have a door to it, but the door is on the floor now, there's a door leading to the north that has a convenient sign on it that says mess, as in mess hall.
Tetros would just interject. Our orders were to bring back the habitat module and the survivors. It is within our interpretation. We do with those who did not survive.
Speaking of, Tetris, you ran the scan of the ship. You said there were life signs, but clearly these guys aren't going to be giving off life signs, so there's got to be someone alive somewhere on this ship still, right?
And Tetros would peer through the fourth wall to Sam and just wonder, with that incredible roll that Tetros did with his guaranteed natural 20, that was a 34 Did this variety of Spomby, would they show up on life signs?
These particular Spombies, Tetros being the medical expert, would know they were still alive. They would have registered as living creatures. They weren't like undead. They were more of some kind of disease-based zombie or some sort of strange surgical thing.
Strange surgical thing.
Something weird.
That wasn't even like on my mind before you said that, and now
I'm just saying, like, how do you make a zombie? Maybe you do some kind of surgery. Maybe you poison them. Maybe you do magic spells.
I mean, I've seen this documentary called "The Serpent and the Rainbow." It tells you all about making them. Also, if no one's ever seen that, it's fantastic. So.
I also recommend the documentary Repo, the Genetic Opera.
Also good.
Another great
also
documentary. Tetros would look to Calexa and say, "It is curious, these zombies do appear to have registered as life signs themselves. It is unclear to me whether they were in this current state from a disease or poison or some sort of terrible medical practice, but we have reduced the 37 down to 28.
So that means there could still be 28 of these things wandering around on this ship.
Unfortunately, the DAPL sensors are not advanced enough to distinguish the individual biological life forms identified as life signs. There could be 28 more of these, or there may be 7 more of these. 20 Kasatha and 1 Androphin, regular non-zombie version.
So, it isn't clear what spawned these zombies. However, I do believe we should press on. Perhaps we bless this mess with our presence.
Very least, we can do a quick scout about the room and see if there's anything else useful here. Besides, the zombies and corpses and mess.
Don't forget to spoil it.
Obviously, the spoil it.
If I could convince the 3 of you breathing life forms who took damage from the air vents to spare a minute each of my time, I'd be happy to help patch up your wounds before we open another door to maybe more than one variety of a mess.
Sure, I've got minutes.
Doctor, heal myself.
I shall save the best for last, Captain. And so he'll go first to Lysander. Zing!
Ouch.
Rough.
Oh no, a natural 1.
Rough.
The good news is...
You turned him into a zombie.
No, the good news is,
The good news is
you
Lysander is
can't
dead.
crit fail a medicine check, and even a natural 1, I don't know why I bothered rolling. Oh, because if I roll 5 over, I get bonus hit points. But I didn't. You are going to get 1 point per CR, so we're level 5, you'll get 5 hit points back. Calexa is going to get the full, 9, but you can only get 7.
All right, she is back to full.
And I guess, Farrell, that makes you the best, because you're last. Another natural 18, just got to get those out of the way. I like how the dice respect Lysander as much as Tetros does. And it's like 1, 18, 18. So 7... 9 parentheses, actually 7 HP back.
All right. To the meth?
Do the math.
Is anybody taking the 10-minute resolve point stamina regen?
I feel like that can happen later. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm only down 10, so I'm fine to wait, he said famously.
I have no stamina damage.
Let's do a quick listen at the door, though.
Well, I think you would know, just from having seen the layout of this ship, that it's going to be one of those 5-foot hallway door kind of deals.
Okay.
If you're not familiar with Androphin architecture, they love to have that little breezeway.
So, who is our scout?
As in...
Who's going first? The captain?
No.
I feel like you should lead it by example, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have time for the little play you're going to put on before we go out there. I'll pop in, pop back out. You all stay here, which is me volunteering as soon as I get back to the right page on my character sheet.
Sure, I'll roll diplomacy to make Zach's guy go out there if I have to.
No. You're not going to beat my diplomacy.
Oh, yeah,
I will
true.
diplomacy you against this. You want a diplomance? This is the one thing I'm good at. Don't bring a diplomacy to a diplomacy feat.
What am I rolling to? I don't know. Should I stealth in? I can stealth.
You want to do a stealth?
I can do a stealth.
Did just loudly murder many spawn beasts.
Literal
But I
explosion.
guess
No,
Using
we
grenades.
There were literal explosions.
there were literal explosions.
Let's see. It's an 18 on the die plus. Wait for it. Plus 11 stealth, so 29.
All right, you super quietly scan your brown access card, pop open the door to the mess hall, revealing a large room populated with large tables and normal-sized chairs. Nothing immediately comes and murders you upon opening the door, so perhaps you're undetected. You can see maybe across the room a couple of goo tube vending machines. These, of course, wouldn't be up to date with like all the latest Androfin flavors, but
Just original.
they were cutting edge 10 years ago because this was a big deal mission. They got all the good stuff. So you got like grape ennui, nostalgia and parsnips, the flavor of the year when you all left, which was Glaukite gravy. That's about all you
Parsnips are
see.
terrible already. I don't.
Hey! I will. There is so much food talk, I'll abide, but you leave my little spicy ground white carrots alone.
I mean, then just have a radish, Zach. Then just have a radish.
They aren't even comparable.
They're better.
I'm so mad about it. They roast so well, and they're delicious. Oh
They
my
become,
god!
honestly, when you roast them and then they get soft, it's like, why?
They get toothsome.
God, why would you use that word?
It's a good word. Well, as you can see, the mess hall looks pretty clear. You do have those goo tube vending machines, and then like on the southern side of the room, closer to where you came in, there's a more elaborate cooking setup where an ambitious crewmate might be able to fabricate something resembling a real meal if they had enough like non-differentiated carbon base available to work with. At the back end of the room are 3 sets of doors. There's the one leading to the science quarters to the north. There's one headed back towards the lobby you came in from, and then there's one leading over to the officers' quarters on the west side of the room. Both, sets of double doors. So you got options from here, but this is a quiet room.
I would like to start by pistol whipping the goo tube machines. Oh, that's a natural 20.
There's a spicy southern Schadenfreude in there that is absolutely my weakness.
Oh, did you want this? And Frel will grab it and then toss it in the air and shoot it out of the sky.
Fortunately, when a gun hits a machine, it just gets sucked into it and extruded as a goo tube.
Wow, it's a little meta. The idea of destroying the spicy southern Schadenfreude tube in front of me really just, drives the point home.
Farrell's an artist.
It's just sprudel.
When Tetros hears we've given up on stealth, we are pistol whipping and shooting things, they will step into the room and kind of close their eyes for a quick second, the equivalent of a standard action, and on the little screen of the goo tube machine, it says "ouch" in Androfin. And
Sorry, machine.
and then it says, "I don't believe you." And Tetros cracks a half smile to themselves because Jeff, the player, spent 220 credits on this piece of technology. Might as well use it.
I think Kalexa's going to go up to, real quick, one of the goo tube machines that hasn't been beaten to death with a gun and grab a taser pistol and peanut-flavored goo tube out of it and just start kind of slurping on that. Anybody else hungry? I know we just had to murder a bunch of horribly mutated fellow crewmates, but ever since we got on here, I have just been starving. In fact, honestly, she downs the rest of the tube. I'm still hungry. And she goes back and she grabs another one.
I suppose I've been feeling a bit peckish, perhaps not quite that peckish, but this is why you always carry a backup Continental and will dig in their bag to pull out like an orange juice and a space croissant. Did we say spissant? I think it's
Yeah, Spissant.
Spoos.
In his orange juice.
Poisson.
Le poisson.
But while I understand the need to feed the body, perhaps, my friend, you can indulge me in feeding the need for approval by people who hold positions of authority. The officers' lounge. We all have had a GooTube bit, right? Everyone got a GooTube bit in. We got a good solid
We're all
GooTube
good.
bit.
We're
We can
set
wrap
on
it
the
up.
GooTubes.
We can-
Tubular. All right. When you open the set of double doors leading to the officers' quarters, it of course opens into a 5-foot hallway with another set of double doors.
It's like the door just
On the
opens
end.
right into the closed door behind it. It's like, ah, jeez.
Lysander just heads in. I mean, I feel like as a captain, this is the place that he wanted to go the most. Because he needlessly wields the authority granted to him by a letter of recommendation from his father, like all great leaders. And, and with that, he passes into the room.
Well, as you would expect, each officer here gets a cabin all to themselves. There's a shared meeting area to the south, and
Just spoil it at the end of the hallway. That's a very
it's a
open
bathroom.
plan bathroom that they
the
have.
door just happens to be hanging open right now, so you can see the spoil it. You know, they leave the door open so you know if it's occupied.
Considering the other one was just in a hallway next to a bed, like, this is much fancier.
So we don't want to enforce our own cultural mores on the Androfan people. It might just be very nonchalant. You know, like, they could be in the middle of a business meeting and just
Really like
have
eye
to
contact.
do a thing, and it's like,
Oh,
this is
God.
just normal.
It is the job of the person on the spoilet to greet whoever walks in the door from the meth hall.
There are 3 officers standing in each of these rooms, which have the doors sort of hanging ajar so you can see them, and the shifting starts basically the instant you open the door. There's no delicate way to describe these people. 2 of them look much like the other zombies that you've already faced. They're standing at odd angles, their faces are vacant and drooling. Their clothing is torn to shreds and hanging around them in dirty tatters, but the officer in what you would consider the captain's cabin is different. This captain, you presume, is caked and dripping with this horrible, viscous, yellowish-green goo. What little skin they still have has turned like a sickly, blotchy, bluish color, and looks to be stretched horribly thin so that you can see the outlines of all their blood vessels pulsing and pushing up under it through their face and their neck. Their eyes are huge and unblinking and devoid of color and blood vessels and pulsating like beating hearts mounted in their face. But below their neck, the skin seems to fold into their bodies, and their internal organs are on display, coated in this mucus-like slime all over, and shining, highlighting just how anatomically wrong all these pieces are, like they've been rearranged and bent by some horrible will and forced to handle new functions in this bizarre, horrifying walking thing that should, by any estimate, be dead. You can see its colon, you can see its heart, but the heart is like a foot lower than it should be, and it's like hooked up to the duodenum, and it's not pumping. Instead, it's like gyrating. It's weird. Everything's weird. And it's standing there, upright and staring directly at you, with interest, with comprehension. And this creature says, "Hello, crewmates. It's good of you to join us. The Void will welcome you. I will help you prepare yourselves for the great banquet. Do not try to resist. I think it might be time to roll for initiative.
We didn't even get to hear the menu first.
What are you talking about?
Is it like price fixie? You know, I'm from Texas.
Seems it's family style. All right, Calexa, what do you have for initiative?
I rolled a 16 for a 24.
That's pretty snappy. How about Farrell?
That is a 20 for a... Where's my initiative? 24. 24, Sam.
All right, and Tetros.
Tetros, 12 for a 16.
Oh, I am right behind Farrell where I belong. I rolled a 17 for a 20.
Wow, everybody's fast. All right, I'm going to sort descending, and I believe Calexa has the better modifier, so Calexa is the first to go.
So she is going to target Yellow, the one that's down in the bottom right corner room, and she is going to shoot at him with her railgun. That is also a 24.
24 will hit the zombie.
So that is 19 points of damage.
Wow, you've almost blown away that zombie.
Basically, all of my credits went into this. You start with one in this class, and then I put all my money into making it better because you start with like a crappy basic gun.
Well, so far seems worthwhile.
Yeah, so that is her entire turn then, because it's her move action to target.
All right, Farrell.
Can Farrell see Spabio from where I am, or is Calexa in the way?
I think you can kind of see Spapio.
I'm going to mark them for death, which Farrell will do by pulling out the gun that they've had this whole time, which is the same one as always. Saying, do one of these things, the I see you sort of thing. You there. Not that I don't like what I'm seeing, but this is a problem because a lot of it is very gross. I'm sorry to have to do this. And they're marked for death, so +1 enhancement bonus to attack rolls and whatnot. Although everyone else, and Sam, you can ignore this part if you want, like just as the GM, all other enemies will take I take a -2 to my AC for all other enemies because I'm soups focused on Spabio. So they are marked. I'm gonna go in for just a regular shooting because I'm way back here for now. Well, that's much worse than the other rolls. See, this is why I'm... that is going to be a 14 to hit Spabio, which feels VV unlikely.
Yeah, 14 is not gonna hit our space captain.
That's me.
All right, Lysander.
Lysander, like any good captain, positions, well, before taking a guarded step to the north to position himself behind his ace pilot, he says, "Release your anger and your rage. Fear not the zombie in the cage." And then bows slightly. That's a get him on the zombie. It's just not a... that's a Spabio, specifically.
All right. Which takes us to our first zombie friend. And as we all know, zombies are staggered, so this one's just gonna kind of gunk things up. Get right in Calexa's face. And then we're on Tetros 5.
Yes, we are. Tetros will move 15 feet to the east and 5 feet south. Because they're staggered, they can't take reactions. Then Tetros will level their Needler pistol at Sporange Zombie, now 10 feet to their north, and fire. Not great. 2 off the dice. That is a miss, but the wildest thing, as though it has some futuristic sort of element that might conserve their precious ammunition. It's almost as though it never even fired, and the darts just right back in.
Wild. I don't think that's allowed.
You'd be surprised. End of turn.
All right, well, Spabio is going to go 5, 10, and 15 feet. Do you get an attack of opportunity, Tetros 5, or...
Yes, because of the spear and their beautiful, beautiful 4 arms. They're wielding a ranged and and reach melee weapon at all times.
That's too many arms. This Kasatha is broken. Who put 4-armed creatures in this game?
Alas, although better on the dice, the spear is their worst weapon, and it's only a 14 against KAC.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. Now, this oddly gelatinous, horrible creature, its limbs are like all the parts are wrong. So, on the plus side of that, it doesn't really so much have fingers anymore, and it's just going to sort of slam you with its clubby hand analog. That's a 26.
Yeah,
to hit.
That'll do.
Super slammy.
Ooh, big damage. 21 bludgeoning.
And in a flashback in their technological mind, we recall Tetris thinking, only down 10 stamina. And BB. Now they're down 31 stamina. Tetros will, as they get slammed by this creature, reply emotionlessly, "Should we manage to resolve this conflict, I cannot recommend a thorough medical examination highly enough. I should not be able to see your duodenum."
Well, the yellow zombie's going to do what zombies do and clog things up even worse. Just sort of inserts itself between its boss and Tetros 5 and Feral. And it's Kalexa's turn. You got a Spomby right in your face.
I do, and I'm actually very glad that you had that one move up, because that means I don't have to waste a move action to retarget one of the other zombies. So the first thing she's going to do is shoot that one in the face from point blank range.
It's not very nice.
That is a 16.
16 will hit yellow.
Right. And I still got my extra 5 damage, so that is 17 points of damage.
Yeah, that'll be a headshot.
Yeah.
Down goes yellow.
And then...
Oddly hollow skull.
She is instead then going to use her move action to target orange, and that will be her turn.
All right, Feral, you've marked this guy for death, and he's coming.
Sure have. Feral is going to return to their old ways and just sort of wade into this zombie corpse and get right up in Spabio's face. Be like, "Sorry about before. I think you're gross. I lied." And we're going to attempt a trick attack. So we'll roll first for a bluff, was it? Bluff, Intimidator, Stealth, that was it. That is... Yeah, I've wasted all of my good moves. That is a 6 plus 11, 17 to stealth them.
Spabio is not tricked.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is awkward. Gosh, that was a 2, so I'm not even gonna I'm gonna put this die away. That's it. No more for you. And that's my turn.
All right, Captain. Things are a little bit dicey.
That's true. I guess I'm gonna point at Spabio across the way and say, "The void." Never mind. The void will not welcome us today. Perhaps instead you will meet your dead. I got nothing here. And
that was good
that's
enough to get me.
I'm going to make a little roll here to try to demoralize you. So that's going to be an intimidate roll. So let me just make that roll. That's a 13 off the die for a 29.
Yeah, that'll do it.
All right, so one turn they are shaken by that thing that I didn't actually want to do on my turn, but decided to do at the last minute. So there you go. Instead, meet your dead. And that's my turn.
All right, now the orange zombie is, let's see, it's gonna go for the one that just killed its buddy. They've been best friends in the Androphan Navy for like 30 years, and you just killed him right in front of her. Now she's gonna zombie attack you. Gonna go for that bite. She made it mad. That is a 17. That's not gonna do anything.
Nope.
All right, Tetros 5.
Seeing, and let me just make sure. I understood. Spabio is now space shaken, spakened, shooketh. Tetros will
Kevin
will
Spacey.
see that they are shaken a little bit and will reach out their syringe stick that's at the end of their pistol in their top right hand and say, perhaps some rest would be beneficial to your recovery, and will make a melee attack to deliver a biohack. That is a 17 against KAC. 18. Are they still get him?
Yes, still get him.
18 against KAC.
That will not hit.
Then Tetros will take a guarded step to the west.
I don't know why you would do that. All right, Spabio is a little bit shaken, but I think he's gonna go for the full attack on Farrell. He's feeling sprightly, so these will be both at a -6 basically. 17, I don't think I'll hit.
Well, not.
And how about a 26 versus KAC?
26. Well, yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's 19 bludge.
Woo, that's a heavy bludge. That's stamina damage.
Yeah, it comes off your stamina first.
Stamage.
It is Calexa's turn. Round 3.
Calexa is going to shoot Orange in the face. Ooh, that's probably a miss. That's only 12.
That will not hit.
And then for her move action, she is just going to back up to the end of the hallway we came in from, just because she has a very large ranged weapon, so she wants to kind of make a little bit more space so this guy can't swing at her again next round.
And she wants Lysander alone on an island. I get it. All right, Farrell, you're up. You just got slammed.
Yes, Farrell. Pride hurt by their continued missed shots. Body hurt by, Spabio. Is just going to keep going to the classic. Let's try not rolling a dice this time. Okay, that's better. That's going to be 14 plus 11, 25 for an attempted trick attack, the stealth portion of it.
That is actually not going to get it.
So high, the CR in this dude. Cool, and just a regular pistol whip. And let's just try one more time. Hey, I wish I'd had that 2 seconds ago, but I will take it now. That is a 20 plus 3 for pistol whippage.
That is definitely a crit.
That is, gosh, what did we say we were doing last time? We're just doubling the dice rolls.
Yeah,
Roll
double
twice
the dice
and
rolls.
then double the...
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's 2 1s, team. 2 1s, plus 16, so 18 at Spabio.
All right. Well, you notice that the sort of glistening mucous membrane really kind of pads the blow there.
Yeah, how does their duodenum look?
It's goopy.
Ugh, yikes.
Pretty healthy still.
You do not want a goopy duodenum. Okay, that's me.
All right, Lysander, you've been abandoned basically. The entire crew's gone.
I mean, there's always time for me to retreat, I suppose, but I'm not going to stay where I am and point and say, Captain to Captain, our fifth we rule, but I am a poet and you are a fool. So I'm gonna roll again. This is a demoralize and a get him. See how it goes. Rolled a 14 this time for a 30 to demoralize. So again,
All right, he's still demoralized.
Yep, keep you demoralized and get him, and that's the end of my turn.
All right. Well, Orange Zombie is gonna try to smack the captain. And that too is not gonna do it. And Tetros.
Tetros, gonna go take a shot, try and do another biohack on Spabio. There will be some cov from old Farrell, but otherwise there's not really a great way to get on the other side, so we'll just take a shot. And it's a natural 1.
It's not gonna work.
Oh, weird. I thought that might. Yeah, Tetros has no emotions to feel shame like the player behind them does. And nothing really useful to do on their move action except kind of point their micro lab at this Spabio and get another instant 34 on a knowledge check to see why this one different. Why Goopy Duodenum though?
This one, I think your micro lab will tell you that it's having a hard time placing exactly what's going on, but this used to be a human, but now the closest corresponding entry it can find is an aberration called a rebuilt, which it has been known to happen in like catastrophic medical failures, can create like tortured monstrosities that have been irreparably had their genetic code rewritten and have been twisted into a horrible, monstrous form like you see in front of you. Now, this isn't necessarily exactly like Indrothan Records, this creature, but that's the closest thing you could point to. Well, what kind of questions might you want to ask?
Yeah, what bypasses Goopy DR?
Sadly, nothing bypasses
Oh, it's
Goopy
Goop
DR.
Dash?
It's DR5 dash.
That Goopy Dash. Okay. This creature, from what we observed, it does not appear to be staggered like the other zombies, so I don't think I need to waste a question on that. But any special abilities other than real bad slam?
Well, they have amorphous extremities, so they can neither hold nor wield weapons, nor use any item that requires an action to activate. They have a bonus against pain effects, and that's about it. They're pretty slow moving. Generally speaking, they're just a messed up person whose limbs don't really work that well anymore, but they make up for it in just being goopy tough.
I feel the same way some days, you know? Just a messed up person whose limbs don't work so well. So me now, I the player have some sympathy, some empathy that my android boy can't feel. Was that all the questions I get? 2?
With 34, yeah, probably 2 will do it.
Feels right. Thank you.
Well, good news is it's Spabio's turn. I mean, that's good news for me. It's gonna... let's see. I think since he knows he can hit you pretty well, he's gonna stick with that full attack. Our dear friend Farrell.
Yes.
Does that
24,
include your
good.
shaken penalty?
I mean, subtract all you want from that one. You got a ways to go before I'm okay.
That is 19 damage.
Okay, so after you're out of stamina, you start taking like hit point damage, correct?
That is correct.
Feral 2 will have a flashback of just before Tetris. And yeah, I'll be fine. And sadly whisk away that last stamina point. You said 19, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you said 19? I was thinking I had overcalculated. That's
For a
wild,
second, I thought you were saying Feral 2 like your backup character, the sequel.
Oh yeah, me too. That's exactly.
She's
what
waiting in the other room.
Backup care is actually
Right.
Pharrell Williams.
That hat will protect all of us.
It's old Feral Strawberry.
Provides cove.
27 on the second slam.
Yeah, oh, this is gonna be such a bummer, y'all. Yeah, 27 will hit, and I am gonna go to bed.
20
I
damage.
hope the rest of you survive. 20 damage? Do you take negative damage in this one?
Oh, you just fall unconscious.
Okay, so, having failed both times to do a trick attack, but, you know, one good shot in, Rails, alright, well, I tried to warn you about the breakfast. See you later. And collapses into a pile of zombie goop. Their duodenum does not show.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's not all bad. And no, it's not my turn. That's not my turn. Bummer.
All right, Calexa, you are up. Farrell has just gone down in a heap.
Okay, so Calexa, on seeing that, is going to yell out, "Hey, Captain, can you do something about that?" And she's going to shoot again at the zombie that she has her target already on, because hopefully she can kill that and then use her move action to switch to Fabio. Nope, that is a 10. That was a 3 on the die.
Yeah, 10's not going to do it.
That is going to be her turn then.
All right, Farrell, you can spend a resolve point to stabilize.
Yes, I can. Additionally, I have a feat called Die Hard. I am especially hard to kill. Your wounds quickly stabilize when you're grievously wounded. The rest of the paragraph says you can spend the required resolve points to stabilize and 1 resolve point to stay in the fight, which is what I'm going to do because I have no attachment to this character. So it's one to stabilize and then 1 to get up and get back in. Is that correct?
It's a quarter of your maximum.
That sucks. I'm going to spend the 2 resolve points first to stabilize and then to get back up. So Farrell, from the ground, eyes closed, suddenly does that eye open thing, like when you zoom in on someone's face in a horror movie. It's like, actually, never mind, I'm fine. And pops back up. They do not look fine. They look like maybe they have 1 hit point. But you know what? They're determined to make this Fabio, feel the hurt. So, back at it. Going to start with Trick Attack. Rolling a regular dice. Why did I do that? I knew that was a bad idea. That's not enough. So, just a regular pistol whip then. That is going to be a disappointing 15. This is not my night.
Yeah, 15's not going to do it.
So, Lysander, inspired by Farrell's feats of fortitudinous strength, he's going to pull out, he's going to move action, pull out a grenade and say, "I've heard I have a repelling personality." And he is going to throw a grenade at this square. So first I'm going to make a roll here. So it's a minus, you said 2? So that's just a plus 1. Try to hit that square. That's a 10 to hit that square, which I do hit.
You got it.
And that thing that I threw there in that moment is called a gravity grenade 2. So the thing that it does within 20 feet, which is exactly where Fabio is, let's see, creates a micro-singularity that pulls the affected targets towards the detonation point. Creatures in that area move the listed distance if they fail a fortitude saving throw. So you are going to take a little... Are you going to take any damagio? Is there any damage here? I just see explode, pull 20 feet. So I don't think there's any damage. So roll a fortitude. You are no longer demoralized, though, right? Because it ends on my turn because it's only been 1 round.
Well, with the 30, it was 2 rounds.
Oh, so you are demoralized. So roll a fortitude with a -2.
That is a total of a 16.
All right, that is going to fail. So you were going to get pulled 10 feet back to here.
Wow, that's a solid move.
Got to be useful once.
Well, for your troubles, you are going to get a slam from the zombie right next to you. Oh, but another natural 2. Lysander is the luckiest guy I have ever seen.
There's so much character armor on this guy. It's wild. So there's no reason why he shouldn't die immediately. I don't know what's going on.
Tetros, you are up.
Tetros is up and trying to consider whether do we heal Farrell, considering the damage that this thing can put out, or do we just try and take it down? I think they're going to just try and take it down. So now that they have an opportunity to move, they're going to move up, kind of through Farrell's square a little bit, right up to the east of Orange Zombie, and as a nice clean shot, the still shaken Fabio, and will say, "From what little I can tell of your condition, I really do prescribe rest. Please do not resist further." And we'll try yet again to biologically hack. There we go. Natural 20.
All right.
Finally. So, while I roll this massive asterisk, not massive, damage, you could also roll your fortitude save at a -2.
It's an even 20.
Well, of course it is. So you get hit, but not hack, because it has to be delivered via an attack, but the save negates. So you do take a whopping 11 minus goop, so 6 damage, and for fortitude negates. And you do also take, because it is an anesthetic, half my level in non-lethal damage if you're not immune to that. So 2 points of non-lethal on top of the dart itself. What? Man, now that's a useful turn.
All right. This creature is, it thinks that's a pretty confusing maneuver there, so it's going to take a step forward, which I believe will provoke from Tetros.
It will. Oh. Well, with no longer get 'em'd, that's with the spear only an 18, lowest bonus on that weapon.
EAC or KAC?
It is kinetic.
That
Okay.
will not hit. All right, but it is going to give you the old slammer for your troubles. That is a 20.
20 kinetic slam, I'm guessing, is a miss.
All right.
KAC 22.
Okay, Calexa, can you turn things around here?
Well, guess what Colexa's going to do?
Shoot the orange zombie, because please don't. I'm sorry if we can edit that out.
It's in the way of everything.
No, but still, shoot me. Shoot me, and then shoot. One action, kill Lysander. Second action, shot at Spabio.
Kind of negative am I taking trying to shoot him through it's either going to be the zombie or Lysander, depending on which one I'm shooting him through.
Yeah, it's got to be at least a +4 to AC for that.
Oh, that's right. It
For-
just
for
adds it
there.
to him. You know what? I'm going to gamble on it.
Yeah.
Only going to take a single shot. I'm going to use my move action to target him so that if I do hit, I'll do the extra damage. Natural 20.
Oh, yes. That is big.
Oh, man.
What a screenshot that.
Threading the needle there.
It staggers them if they fail a save.
Ooh.
Which
Fortitude?
I have it on here. Yeah, fort, and I have my DC on here somewhere. Okay, it's DC 19.
Oh, yeah.
That's a failed fortitude save.
Okay, so Fabio is staggered and 26 points of kinetic damage.
Oh, yes.
Ow, ow, ow. Doesn't all go through, but still. Farrell, you almost died. You came back from the dead. You just watched a zombie get shot in the duodenum.
Oh no, you're duodenum.
The spoodenum, I'm sorry.
Yeah, again, still on that 1 hit point, still not attached enough to this character to care. My pride, by which I mean Izzy's, is much more important. Gosh, I really should not move up. Like, I shouldn't. But I have trick attacked, so I'm gonna... It's gonna work this time, I can feel it. Farrell, bleeding from the duodenum probably, you'll never know. Moves up 1 step, clutching their bellies, like, all right, let's try this again. That's allowable. That's going to be a 26 to stealth it.
Yeah, you've got your trick attack hit. Meets
Yes,
beats.
finally, it happened. Great. Then with that additional trick attack, well, 1 trick attack, I'm going to smack it again. That's going to be initially 1d6 plus 8. 12, and then I'm going to add my 3d8. And yes, they become flat-footed. 17 plus 12, 29.
So once again, not all of that goes through, but at the same time, it's fallen apart. It's got chunks just dripping out of that goo, and they're barely being held on by the sheer viscosity of the creature.
That's gross.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
That's my turn.
All right, Lysander.
Lysander has found still the effects of bombs over poetry as he, move action, reaches in and lobs another grenade behind Spabio while shouting, "You may be protected by goop, but you will not survive my troop." And throws. There is a -2 reduction. That's an 18 on the die for a 19 to hit that square. That
You
square.
got it.
So that is, I need you to roll me the save for the frag grenade, which I believe is a reflex, if you please.
All right. Spabio isn't spared anymore. So that is a 16.
Oh man, you beat it by 1. So does that mean, is that like half damage? Is that how that works? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Doesn't matter that this is piercing because none of that matters. Nothing matters, but you still take 2 damage from my 1 and my 3 off the die from the wimpiest explosion possible. It is just a little
I think the goop absorbs all of that.
I was imagining it bounced into the toilet and the lid was starting to fall as the grenade went off, so only a few pieces actually made it out.
just
Yeah, but-
hit by the bidet. The bidet attachment just hits them in the back of the head.
It's just another broken toilet now. Shooting water out of the wall. You're just trashing this ship.
Reminds me of my time at Officers College. And Droffin majors get wild. And it's the end of my round. Let's go.
This is one way to try and get the insurance money.
The Spobby is going to try to slam you again. This time is a 21 on Lysander.
that is gonna hit the old Sandy lie.
All right. Oh, max damage, 11 damage on the slam.
Much from my staminus.
Max slammage.
Slam it.
Spectrospive.
Seeing how fortitudinous this Zamboni is, Tetros will lament their biohack ineffectivity, but could still do some damage, hopefully just with the more mundane variety, and will just go for let's just do a full attack. It's might as well. So we're going to try 2 spear stabs. See if I can get one good roll. Yeah, maybe. 19 against KAC.
Yeah, that will work because he's flat-footed right now from the trick attack.
Let's roll a d6. Maximum 12 points of spear damage.
Oh man, he is looking so squishy right now.
Tetros will just free action look to Farrell and say, "I would be pleased to restore your health, should we survive this encounter."
All right, Spabio is up. He's sort of looks down at all his various parts falling off. He's not happy. He's gonna go for the full attack. 1 for Tetros and 1 for Farrell. Tetros first. Natural 1. That means Farrell's gonna get the 20.
I think it means also natural 1.
Becoming Paris.
No, that is a 16.
Aw.
Only natural 4.
I'm pretty sure 16 doesn't do it. Is that's it doesn't matter.
Okay,
No.
see, it's not gonna.
Yeah, all good. All good.
All right, Kalexa, you shot the shot of your life on your last turn. What can you do this turn?
I mean, I think I need to shoot him again.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta shoot zombies.
I'm going to take 2 shots, but I have 9 people in between me and him, so there's no way it's going to hit if I take 2 shots. So she is just going to fire a single time. 19. Is that going to hit with... Oh, actually, he's...
Well,
No, he's flat-footed.
Is he?
But
Yeah.
but with the cover, the 19's not.
Okay, I didn't know if that would be enough to negate the cover.
and they also just went, so would they still be flat-footed?
It's flat-footed until
Until the
Farrell-
start of her
yeah,
turn. Yeah.
from the trick attack.
Yeah. But it wasn't enough to negate the cover, yeah. Okay, so in that case, that is... she's going to take a step forward. And that'll be her turn.
All right, Farrell, you're up.
Farrell now riding somewhat higher on blood loss and also that thing of where you hit someone for the first time. I don't know. Is going for the pistol whip / trick attack combo. The old trick pistol. The old pistol whip. Okay, why did you let me pick up my hard dice again when I had agreed to not do that? That was bad and dumb. So no trick attack, but rolling in roll 20 where things are fair and kind, and now I'm going to not have the thing that hits. Yes. Okay, better. Let's say 19 to hit.
I feel like it's more than 3
It's gotta
for you,
be.
my
I
guy.
know.
Like,
Every time I try to look up the rule, I get distracted and everyone's talking.
Well, it's Dex plus Bab.
Oh, Dex plus Bab.
Yeah.
What?
So you're looking at probably a
Yes.
+7.
So that's +7 for, so what, 21, 23, 22, 20.
23 probably, which is a hit.
Great. Keep all that in there. Keep all that stuff.
1 into the chandelier.
14 still. 14
14
though.
total.
14 total at
Well.
Spabio.
Well, it's got DR 5,
Sure. 9.
and it had 9
Damage.
HP left.
Hey.
And 2 non-lethal, which I don't know how that affects this sort of thing, but it does go down.
Yeah, Spabio.
Spabio splats on the splore.
So as this happens, just a real quick free action, Farrell looks over at, leans over this unconscious body with their 1 hit point. It's like, I would do anything for a continental breakfast, you heathen. And then we'll let the rest of the team go.
All right, Lysander.
Yes, once more with feeling as they get him, and also say something mean like, your boss is dead, and now it's time to smash your head to the orange one. So I'm going to make a little roll to demoralize you, because you no longer have... Wow, I'm doing great on this. That's a 31 to demoralize the zombie.
It is demoralized for a long time.
You're very shaken. And it's like, no, not my head. I only have 1 of those. And that's the end of my turn. But go get him.
Yeah, it's like my poor empty head. It's gonna try to slam you. No, that's only a 10.
I terrified it with my prowess.
All right, Tetros 5, zombie behind you. It's very scared right now.
Yeah, I could feel that. It begins to quiver in its space boots, its spoots, if you will. And, it worked last time. Might as well try and stab twice with a spear. 16 and 15. No, get him. 17 and 16 against KAC.
Both hits.
Oh, the doctor is in. That is 18 total points.
That is almost all of the points that a zombie has, but not all.
There are very few points left in this zombie. Please deplete them so that we can heal from this combat.
All right, Kalexa, can you deplete the remaining zombie points?
Okay, that's a 20 for a 27.
Yeah, that'll do it.
21 points of damage. If it's still alive, it's staggered. If it...
It's not so alive.
Okay.
4 points left. It is very thoroughly dead now. We are out of initiative, standing
Ooh.
in another room with another broken toilet, shooting more precious water into the air, covering everything in a fine mist.
Spoil it, Waters.
Ooh, spoil it. Do we see anything in this room besides the... I guess we didn't really give a little search-a-do, did we?
I mean, most of Farrell's blood all over the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe
it's a fair amount
you
of
can-
blood.
Perhaps wise.
Real quick, as a standard action, and then we can get to more healing, but not leaving Farrell at 1 HP is pretty clutch. So we'll do a...
normally I would object, but 1 HP is a little on the low side.
Here comes a field dressing. I can only do this. You can only benefit from this. You can't benefit from this again until after the 10-minute rest we are all taking for our stamina. Except maybe Calexa. Did Calexa get hit at all?
No, I didn't get hit at all. Did anybody have money left over to buy serums of healing? Because I did not.
Your boy has all serums. That is 9 points.
Does that go to HP first? Probably that makes
more
sense.
Yeah, 9. That was an HP heal straight to the H pizzle. And then, we can... If someone more robust in their current health wants to look around, that's fine.
We need to do a 10-minute, John, for sure.
Yeah.
Then
while everybody else is 10-minute resting, can Calexa just rifle through everything in here?
Oh, yes.
Like, could take a 20 on a perception while they're doing their 10-minute rest?
Yeah, sure.
I say not knowing whether taking a 20 is a thing you can even do in Starbase or not.
I assume it is.
If it is, that's a 27 to find whatever secret stuff is in here.
Well, tossing these rooms, you don't find a whole lot of interesting stuff. It looks like these 3 officers did have room to store their personal effects, so you've got like maybe a journal or like some pictures of loved ones, stuff to make it extra
the Pokemon
poignant
cards
and sad. Oh, so many Pokemon cards. I'm sorry, Spokemon cards. They're all space types. Which is, the game is very weirdly balanced. You do find, it looks like one of them was working on learning to be a translator, so you have, dictionaries with, Kasatha, Lashunta, Aklo, Elven, all sorts of languages from different things they've encountered in space, and then mostly just personal effects and not really anything particularly valuable.
So she'll share that with the crew that there's just it's just the standard, what you'd expect to find in any officer's quarters. There's something to explain what on earth is. There's something to explain what on Androth is going on here. It ain't in here.
Perhaps when we are, and it looks over at Tetros, just kind of stitching Farrell back together. Maybe it's just happened at the end of their 10 minutes. Perhaps then, when we feel recovered, we may head north and continue to unravel this mystery.
Yet, speaking of feeling recovered, does anyone feel a bit odd? I'm not the dramatic type. That would leave that to our dear friend Liza here. But if I were, I would say something like, IDK, the void is screaming within me and without of me, etc., etc. No one else? Okay, that was just, I was workshopping a piece of theater.
I'm still just literally feel like I'm starving. But other than that, no. Nothing strange.
Yeah, no, me neither. I was just wondering. In fact, what are you all even talking about? Let's go. Everything is fine. There's no void. What?
Okay. Tetris is way smarter than me, and has medical training and knows that his crew was poisoned. They know that some catastrophic medical failure might have resulted in this, similar to a rebuilt captain. Do they think that whatever poison has seeped in through the ventilation to the crew are his crewmates en route to becoming zombies?
I think that Tetros would think that it is not beyond the realm of comprehension that some piece of the Spomby process may be in place, but probably they're safe now. Like there would have to be some sort of outside, like further influence of something. Like the Spomby cocktail isn't fully mixed.
Okay. Tetros will not reveal that knowledge at this time, but they will think to themselves. Well, they will say out loud, sort of apropos of nothing. Once we are able to access the ship's logs, perhaps we might gain insight into whatever that stealth craft was that docked with the ship. Evidence would suggest their visit may not have been one for a surprise birthday party.
If so, this is the deepest commitment to a theme I have seen, and I am here for it.
Very nice, yes.
Yes. All right. To the science?
To the science.
I'm inclined to agree if whatever has happened to these crew members here was gradual in any way, the crew may have themselves attempted to understand what was happening. We might find notes or scans that would be useful to us.
Yes. Science. Lysander doesn't fully grasp the term. Kind of speaks it in the same way that one would say je demande, or, some other borrow phrase.
Can we pop this door open with a brown key card?
If we open it, I heard mention of listening at the door.
Tetros was...
Oh, I thought we were listening at the goo tube door.
No, Tetros had tried to kind of wedge themselves in there and tilt their head in what is a decidedly unnatural angle to get a 24 on perception to just see if they detect anything. Either stronger smell o' death or zombie grunting.
You don't hear any zombie grunting. The smell of death and decay is definitely present. It's kind of been everywhere. I mean, the mess hall is probably the least smelly of the places, though it does smell like burnt goo tubes from the goo tube that got shot. There's a slow, repetitive sound. It's almost like a heartbeat on the other side of the door.
Huh.
Did the blueprint say anything about giant heart-like system? Is this a normal Androphin habitat module heartbeat?
Usually not, but, sometimes there's weird aliens.
I mean, the heart has chambers. Let's go on in. No, I'm serious.
This can't be the worst one.
Right?
Enter this, safest of the four?
I'm doing it. Lysander heads forth.
All right. As you pop open the door, you reveal a set of rooms that show hints of the modest esteem with which the World All's resident scientists are held. There's a sitting room, that's what you open right into, with 2 tables right there, and then there's 4 open doors beyond it, one that leads into a large bathroom that actually has a door, and then 3 for small little private rooms that not nearly as big as the officers' rooms, but it'd be nice to have a little space to yourself, a door you can close. The 3 science officers, they're here in the common area. You'll have to forgive them if they don't rise to greet you, though. They appear to be lashed to the wall by this strange, throbbing vine-like structures that are wrapped around their bodies. Their mouths hang open like there's no strength in their jaws at all, and their tongues are lolled out and gray, dripping greenish saliva that's also accumulating around the corners of their mouths. And, it's starting to patch up their vac suits and maybe drip onto the floor as well. And their eyes are that same bulging, colorless, unseeing that Spabio had, just practically bursting out of their sockets as they look sightless and uncomprehending, but those featureless eyes they all fix on Lysander when the door opens, like they can see you, even though their eyes don't look like they can see. And there's a quiet moment when this happens, maybe just like a heartbeat of Lysander, like seeing this horror show right in front of him. And then the 3 of them all in perfect unison scream. And they're just screaming like the sound might as well come from the very depths of hell.
Oh, no.
Bummer.
Tetros calls out, "Could you please rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10?
There's no response from them. They don't even seem to be like struggling with their bonds. They barely even seem to be conscious of the fact that they like have bodies, if that makes any sense. They're just sort of these faces mounted on flesh.
Aren't we all?
I mean, when it comes down to it.
Farrell will turn to Calexa and be like, oh, Calexa's in the room. Farrell will turn to Tetros 5 and be like, no one even stands to greet people anymore. It's ridiculous. Like, we're here, we're trying to save them, and they all want to be tied to a wall, okay. And we'll just give a groan of disgust and then head on in, as you do. Shimmy on in next to Calexa.
This is above my pay grade, everybody. What is this?
I had thought that nobody was interested in the vine anymore. Everyone had moved on to TikTok.
TikTok clock is ticking.
Tetros will say with a little dark bedside humor and a little bit closer for a medical examination with their free fourth hand. Not ready to touch yet, but to kind of point the microlab at them and give them the old scanneroo and see what that Suite 34 tells us, if there's anything new.
These appear to be like almost like a pupate state of Spomby, if that makes sense. Like, they have definitely progressed with whatever the zombie cocktail is, but they're not quite there yet. They are probably too far gone to do anything for. Whatever it is that's binding them into the wall seems to be sort of developing their Spomby instincts.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Pointing the microlab at the vine.
Well, it is certainly some kind of organic material. It seems to be this strange, undifferentiated mass. It's unlike anything that you've seen, and as far as your records are concerned, Androffa's never seen anything like this. Hooray, new form of life.
Yes,
Yay.
and just as I had hoped in my log, yes, the other day before we left the ship, I had hoped to discover a new life form. However, I am not confident that I will live to report this discovery myself.
Just because, or?
Whatever is this vine-like thing is, it is playing some part in mixed drink, that is, the zombies. And the scientists we see before us will not themselves be able to communicate any of their findings, since they seem only to be able to scream. However, they are on their way to becoming full-spaced zombies. I would call these space pupae. Spupae. It's a terrible word, honestly.
It is. I wish you wouldn't call them that.
It's a shame they've progressed past splarva and are now spupae. Neither word is particularly satisfying to speak, but they have their own charm to them, such as the beauty of life. However, there is nothing I can do to save these scientists. These three, at least, here.
Where? How? I mean, I get the whole point of this mission was to find alien life, but aren't we supposed to do that on a planet? How did this get... Why are they like that? And she's just like, she is very, very out of her depth. She was supposed to come over here to tow this thing back.
Well, if we found the life, can we just take it? This is a different accent again, but that's all right. Tetros, friend, do you have some sort of hermetically sealed compartment inside of you? We just tuck a little bit of vine in there and call it a day.
I will not be touching this vine directly, nor imparting it into my person. However, I might be able to do something to ease their pain, and Tetros will... he's going to roll a bluff if anybody wants to sense motive, because instead of, there's nothing they're doing to actually try and give them any sort of pain. Yeah. any sort of ibuprofen, spibuprofen, if you will, or acetaminophen. Rather just, a coup de grace against these helpless creatures. So a hot 11 bluff, if anybody is attempting to sense motive.
No, give them the mercy.
So one on the left. Do you let me know if you want me to actually roll the auto crit damage?
No, you can just execute him.
Well, you say it like that. you see Tetros with their 4 arms. They just reach out and get both orange purple and orange yellow. The whole helpful healing. It's like a placebo, but it's death.
A space death seed.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I think is a King Giz album. But yeah, those 3 won't be any more pain. Did the vines react at all to this?
Once they're all dead, the vines do stop pulsating. They don't go anywhere, but like the heartbeat sound, which was apparently like some kind of fluid transfer or something, has ceased.
This day continues to get worse. Sorry.
For some more than others. Gestures over at the 3. Perhaps beyond this door, the actual answers we seek. See gestures to the west side of the room. Left side of the room. There's no cardinal directions in space.
North by north left.
Whatever, I'm just gonna plow through this door too.
Get on in there.
Man,
Well-
there's toilets all over this place.
This
There's
is a
so many
well-toileted
toilets.
area.
It is. Oh, the first thing you notice as you pop open the door to the maintenance quarters is there's just a glorious toilet, still not exploded.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you see like a sparse living quarters with a common hallway and small bathroom, set of doors that you just came through, and then the set of doors that lead back to the lobby, and then the sort of entry level, like barely screened off living areas that each member of the maintenance crew would get. All of those screens are open right now, and you can see there's 2 people lying in beds in the back, their mouths hanging open, eyes unblinking, staring up at the ceiling. And then there's 2 on the floor, like in the hallway in the middle of the room, one face down and one lying on their back. And they like have a definite spomby flavor to them, but you can see that they're breathing at least.
Tetroth,
Yes, Captain, he says with just a tinge.
you may have more luck in your mission to save whatever remains on this ship. In here, perhaps? They don't seem as far gone, but I lack your expertise.
Were they all breathing, or just the ones that were lying down? Or
All 4 of them are in various states of prone, but it looks like they're all breathing. The one lying on his back in the middle of the room, just like closest to the toilet, he does kind of turn his head weakly over to the lot of you and says, "Who's there?"
It's Spake.
congratulations.
I
No, go on.
am Lysander Norwich Barstow, captain of the crew of the Regal Dapple, here to rescue you. And who are you, my lucky friend? Just
He was,
dies
like,
instead of continuing
staring,
the
like-
conversation.
He's staring basically uncomprehending at you and like maybe hearing every third word. And like at the question, "Who are you?" he says, I don't think I know. They come, the hunger, and they take, and they take, and they take, and then you're theirs. Then you're theirs. And in space, no one can go to bed.
Space Night, Sam.
Excellent.
Good night, Sam.
Episode 100, Part 3. Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Who knows when we will be back to space.
Space.
Either way, it'll be a real jam.
Hey, Al.
DJ Hal, bring that beat back.
I'm sorry, Lars. I'm afraid I can't do that.
So what can you do?
I can play this awesome guitar solo.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine, LLC, all rights reserved. Starfinder and Pathfinder are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website, paizo.com, for more information.
Yes, I'm an alien. Yes, I'm an alien. Yes, I'm an alien. I come from outer space. Yes, I'm an alien. Yes, I'm an alien. Yes, I'm an alien. I came to rock this place.
Thank you to MC Lars for our theme song for episode 100, Space Game. We encourage you to check him out at patreon.com/MCLars. Additional sound credits are available in the show notes. As always, if you like what you hear, we encourage you to leave us a review on your Podchaser of choice.
All right, Calexa, can you deplete the remaining zombie points?
As soon as I go back and subtract 4 bullets, because I just realized I haven't been subtracting bullets every round. Okay, so move action, target the zombie, fire a shot. Nope, that is a 3 on the... This thing either rolls me 10s or 19s and doesn't seem to give me anything in between, this online roller. That is a 3 on the die for a 10.
Yeah, 10 won't do it.
I guess technically
Feral.
he's got what you call him on, but it's still not enough.
11 still won't do it.
Yeah, I guess I'll turn around and actually, am I capable? I can pistol whip as needed. Orange, right?
Yeah, you're still standing right next to him.
Great. Let's try that. We're going for the trick attack again, team. I can feel it in my bones. Don't let me down. What's it called? That's 20. Oh, 23 though, because it's just a regular little guy. So that might work.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Cool. And then all the things that... now we're going to roll to shoot. Nope. No. There it is. I knew it would fail me eventually. That's a 1. Well, 1 plus some other things, but it's a natural 1, so... Farrell turns around, high on having brought in Spabio low, and goes to shoot at Orange and just, drops the gun. Just, whoops! Oh, my God. And it clatters, past Orange. Can you get that for me? I promise I won't use it to shoot you. Sorry. And that's my turn.
All right, Lysander, can you finish off the zombie? Or you don't even have a weapon.
I have a very impractical pistol with very few. It shoots flares, and I have 7 remaining or something. So yeah, no, I have 8 remaining. So yeah, first curse worst than the first. So wait. Anyway, get him. And also, I'm not even going to bother demoralizing him. He's so demoralized. So I'm just going to take my move action to step back like a good captain does.
Leaving their ventilation shaft climbing person to die.
I mean, I have been a good damage soak, so maybe I should stay there.
I don't know. I mean, hopefully they'll turn to Tetris, just stab them twice.
Yeah, I mean, the zombie's not smart. It's going to go for the one that actually hit them. And it's going to go for the slam on Tetros. And only gets a 10 again. All right, Tetros, end this thing's misery.
Well, it looks like the depleting is left to me. And we'll just go again. Double spear full attack on the get 'em zombie. Oh, that's when it fails. No higher than an 11.
Yeah, no.
I failed to deplete the zombie.
Okay, Calexa, the whole last round didn't happen.
How have we not killed this thing yet? We killed the other one in 2 hits.
I'm consistently getting them.